injured. You can't do it. So, and for super teams, it gives them an unfair advantage, but when you look at the player's perspective, what do you want them to do? After, like I said, the 2015-16 season, a lot of social media says is the best NBA season, or at least in recent memory. And I agree. Why is that? Because it was before super teams became a trend. When you think about, what is it? Because super teams, you could say, technically existed in the 90s. There was the Lakers, Celtics, and MJ's Bulls, but that came from drafting. They drafted Scottie Pippen. Rodman was a signing, but, the Lakers drafted James Worthy, drafted Magic Johnson. They signed Kareem before that. So they had Kareem signed and then gave Kareem, Magic, and Worthy in return. So, and the last team to win without a previous signing is the Golden State Warriors in 2015. Because they had drafted Clay and drafted Draymond and drafted Steph. Then 2016, the Cavs, they had signed LeBron the year before. Warriors signed KD. Warriors again signed KD. Raptors traded for Kawhi. Lakers traded for AD. It was just... It's the league now. But now that KD... Because I feel like I said again, super teams existed, and people had signed to make teams better, like the Celtics, with Paul Pierce and Rondo and Garnett and all those people. And LeBron did it with the Heat, but it was not a trend. There was maybe a super team every 5 years. Everything else there was no other super team before that. KD joined the Warriors, and all of a sudden it's like, okay, we gotta sign all these players. We gotta get everyone here. And a lot of players are playing for multiple teams now. Because they have to switch it up in order to beat those super teams that are being created. But at the end of the day, you want to win, and you can't win without help, so you're kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't. So, I don't really have that much of a problem with what Brooklyn did. But it's not my favorite thing in the world, but I don't have, I'm not going to cry about it. So, alright. Let's get some more music going here. I've tried to ramble on about that. Alright, it is not connecting. This is not what's supposed to happen here. Alright, so... Alright, we're good here. Well, what? Huh? Alright, got it. So Belichick is not ruling out drafting a quarterback, but also not really telling us he'll trade up. But Belichick, I have a stat, has made 82 trades on draft night. But a lot of those were in the 20s, but... And you know what I realized? I actually realized this. In 2017, the Eagles, Jags, Pats, and Vikings were in the championship games. All four of those teams, 4 years later, are in the top 15. I just feel like that's ridiculous, Those four teams were in the NFC Championship and AFC Championship 4 years ago, and now all of a sudden they're one of the 15 worst teams in the NFL. Very ironic. And one of them is the number one pick. Alright, but Belichick has made 82 trades on draft night. It's a record. And like I said, most of them were in the 20s, not really in the top 15. And he's also never drafted a quarterback, so he's not really used to the situation. But I feel like Denver or New England will probably trade up. And Denver, they're in a good place. They got some assets. They got some good talent on their team. So, I mean, I could see them making a trade with the Falcons. I actually had that happening in one of my mock drafts. So, I mean, I would trade up if I wouldn't mind trading up because you don't know if Cam Newton. I mean, I like Cam Newton. I would definitely start him this year for 1 year, and if he's not it, get rid of him. But he might not be it. So you would want to have a backup plan. So I wouldn't mind trading up if I were New England, but definitely a tough position for him. Because you could also... Who can he get? Let's see this. Who can he get? He might be able to get Jalen Waddle or Devontae Smith. So, it's a tough situation here. Alright, so, Jordy Nelson came out and said on the Pat McAfee show, said he is confused by the treatment of Aaron Rodgers and doesn't really know what they're doing. I mean, they should extend him. I mean, he's the leader of the franchise, and if you want to get better, you should restructure. Restructure the contract. And I don't think Aaron is letting money get in the way. He's gotten his money. He's going to want to win now. So I don't think that's happening. They should extend him. I don't know why they're being a little awkward about this. It's really not that complicated. Sit down with him. Make some adjustments. And, he has the number 1 salary cap hit next year. You gotta change that if you want to get better. So Michael Jordan will present Kobe at the Hall of Fame. I like that he's doing that. I thought the 3 guys that would do it, like the 3 guys, either Jordan, Shaq, or LeBron. And LeBron was never gonna do it. I just threw that name out there for no reason, really. Just because him and Kobe weren't close the entire time. They had a growing relationship. Going, and then he died, so that's why LeBron was emotional, because, he kind of figured he was creating a good friendship with him, so, LeBron wasn't really going to do it, though, because he doesn't really, Jordan was his mentor, and Shaq was a teammate with him. Shaq would have been nice, but think about this. MJ, literally, Kobe copied his game after him almost. Have you seen that video with them, doing the same things? Literally, the same exact, the mirror image, basically. And by the way, Michael Jordan is not an emotional guy. He broke down at Kobe's funeral, basically. He was straight up crying. So, that's the most emotional I've ever seen Michael, and I think it's great that he is doing this at the Hall of Fame. And I'm probably going to watch it. We got a great Hall of Fame class. I was hoping to see it last year, obviously, but, didn't happen. Friggin' COVID. Okay. So, a couple more topics left. So, Justin Fields to the Niners is, kind of heating up. It looks like they are thinking Justin Fields is better than Mac Jones now. And like I said, I'm done with the Mac Jones slander. I'm not doing it anymore because I spent too much time on it. And, a lot of people are saying, oh, Jones is level-headed and all that. But I'm going to allow myself kind of undercut him, kind of. Allow myself one of these things, because it's merely to defend Justin Fields here. I'm not trying to criticize Mac Jones. You're saying he's level-headed and one of the smartest guys. He's the only one of the top 5 prospects with a DUI. So, you see what you want to see as a GM or a head coach. A couple years ago, the Browns with Johnny Manziel, they were not a smart organization. They had some dumb guys in the room. And what they saw with Johnny Manziel was confidence. what Belichick saw, what Sean Payton saw, what Andy Reid saw, was cocky. The Browns saw he was confident. So, the smart guys see the right thing, and the dumb guys see what they want to see. So, I don't know. I think Fields is smart, throws the ball well. I think he's a good athlete. I think he's better than Mac Jones. But I definitely saw why. I finally got to see why he wanted Mac Jones instead, because he doesn't want an athlete ruining the system that he has that had Nick Mullins throwing for the second most passing yards in his first 16 games. So I understood that. But I still think Justin Fields is better. So I would like to see that. If he drafts Mac Jones, I won't criticize him at all. Alright, so, okay, so I have this, and then I got a music segment, and then I'm good. So, Jordy Nelson is still unsure with what the Packers are doing with Aaron Rodgers, and they should extend him. They should. Because I literally made my case just now. I literally just made my case. You don't want to let a guy like that go. You don't. He just won MVP. This guy is not washed or anything. He finally stopped ad-libbing and freelancing with leading the league in throwaways every year. I don't think you should not extend him. I think you should sit down with him, talk it out, restructure the contract, sign some players. You still got some players in the free agency that you can sign that can contribute. Make a Super Bowl team. If Rodgers doesn't win, it's not your fault. It's his. I think that's what you should do with Aaron Rodgers. And I don't think it's that hard. And you got a coach that he's not frustrated with, and that kind of hurt you for the last 3 years of the McCarthy era were kind of rough. Obviously you made the playoffs and all that, but it was tough to do it. Like, you had to run the table one year because, Rodgers had to deal with plays that really were not the best. And he had to throw them away. He doesn't have to. It was his decision. But, you got a coach that he's not frustrated with anymore. And, it's working. So, extend him. Extend him while you can. He's gonna be out in a couple years. Sorry about that. He's gonna be out in a couple years. So, restructure his contract, get a Super Bowl team, keep the coach, who's clearly great, 26-6, back-to-back NFC championships. I think it's not really rocket science. I don't know what the holdup is. I'm gonna figure it out soon, so we'll see what happens there with Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. All right, let's get some music going. All right. All right. So back to Barkley saying the Nets, saying he'll root against the Nets. This is the NBA now, and fans shouldn't love it. But it's the NBA now. It's like this is the league now. That's what it's going to be like now. So you either keep watching it and keep complaining, or just stop watching it like a rational human would. So if you don't like super teams, stop watching it. Stop complaining. It's annoying. It annoys me when people complain about things that they can't control. If you don't like it, stop. Just walk away from it. Stop complaining, please. It's annoying. And last team to win a title without doing it was the 2015 Warriors. And it was made a trend when the Warriors became so unbeatable that people had to switch it up. So, and then again, it can all get traced back to Kevin Garnett, to the Celtics. it kind of inspired LeBron to be like, yeah, I guess I gotta go to the Heat to beat you guys.